Glad as always to have you with us. Glad as always to see a little sunshine above, even though it didn't go very far to warm things up out there. Clear and cold tonight, a low in the teens, around freezing tomorrow with winds, even though we'll have sunshine again. It's not going to feel all that nice temperature-wise. More in your forecast in just a few moments. Our top stories tonight will include highlights and information and details about the 57th District Tournament, which is ongoing. Another couple of rounds tonight in boys play. Championship games for the girls starts tomorrow night, the boys Friday night. And the University of Pikeville kept good on their promise of a major announcement today. A major indeed, with the likes of other announcements, including becoming a state university. Before that, the School of Osteopathic Medicine, and a host of other major announcements coming from the school. How do you top those? Well, they did today. An announcement as big as those, if not bigger. We'll have a complete story for you in just a few moments. More information than anywhere else coming up in just a few moments. Only a couple of other reports before I leave you. Taping this show earlier today, by the tune of an hour, hour and a half, or maybe two if I'm lucky. Try to make it to tip-off for boys action tonight at Johnson Central High School, a recap of which we'll have for you tomorrow. Only a few other reports before we get to local headlines. The first with a conviction. A former mayor of Martin in Floyd County and her daughter have each been convicted by a federal jury of charges related to a scheme to defraud the Social Security Administration and misapply or misappropriate federal funds. On last night, the jury convicted former Martin Mayor Ruth Thomasine Robinson, who's 69, and her 42-year-old daughter Rita Christine Wicker, the former director of the Martin Community Center. The verdict was handed down after about 2 hours of deliberation, after about 2 days of trial. Specifically, the jury convicted the defendants on all 8 counts they were charged with, including counts of conspiracy, federal program fraud, theft of Social Security disability benefits, and aggravated identity theft. 42-year-old Ginger Michelle Halbert, a volunteer city employee who worked closely with Robinson, pled guilty last week to a charge of theft of government money. She's to be sentenced in June. Evidence at the trial, though, established that from 2006 through January of 2013, Halbert was reportedly working on a volunteer basis, but she was getting paid secretly or under the table, so to speak, with federal funds. The funds that were paid to Halbert were intended to go to the Martin Community Center and the Martin Housing Authority, and some of those monies were supposed to fund an after-school program for Martin City children. And to hide the scheme, they allegedly arranged for all the checks to be written payable to Halbert's son. Evidence also established during the trial that Halbert, who was receiving Social Security disability benefits, intentionally failed to notify the SSA of her earned income from the city of Martin, which of course is against the law. Sentencing for Robinson and Wicker is set for July the 9th. The conspiracy offense carries a maximum of 5 years in prison. The misappropriating money from a federal program carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. And the aggravated identity theft has a mandatory minimum penalty of 2 years behind bars. On the medical marijuana front, a victory for advocates today of cannabis oil, at least, a measure that would legalize limited use, that's limited medical use, mind you, of cannabis oil, was approved by the Senate Health and Welfare Committee today in our state's capital. It's Senate Bill 124, and it's sponsored by Committee Chair Julie Denton of Louisville and Senator Whitney Westerfield of Hopkinsville. And Senate Bill 124 would allow doctors at 2 state universities, research hospitals, to prescribe cannabis oil to patients. The oil itself is derived, obviously, from marijuana plants, and advocates of the oil and medical marijuana in general, and say this and other parts of the plant, are effective at treating many health conditions, including epilepsy. Senate Bill 124 now goes to the full Senate for further action. Well, always more news than I have time, and that's the case tonight. And some of it's going to be raw in its form, but a great deal of video to bring you. As I said earlier, the University of Pikeville kept very good in its promise earlier today of a major announcement. I'll start coverage of that story after these words.
The New Year's sales event rolls on at Conley's with 3.99% and up to $1,000 in rebates on new Polarises. Kawasaki's got 3.95% or save up to $1,500 in cash. And just in, Polaris Power digital inverter generators, ultra quiet and ultra affordable at Conley's, Kawasaki, and Polaris of Paintsville.
This year, W2 means we double. Hutch Chevrolet Buick GMC will double your tax return up to $1,000. With more, here's Earl Justice.
Find 200 of our most popular vehicles with payments starting at just $149 a month with 0 down, plus all sales decision in 15 minutes or less, or I'll give you the vehicle.
This double your tax return event ends in 2 weeks at Hutch Chevrolet Buick GMC in Batesville, Kentucky. Isn't it time to buy Hutch?
Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new McGoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400. Time and money-saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs. Sagersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Sagersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time.
Hi, I'm Rodney Minnick, born and raised in McGoffin County. I wish to see my family and theirs one day grow old in a place I so love. But to live here and be safe, we need to put honor, experience, and confidence in the Sheriff's Department. A graduate of the Department of Criminal Justice Academy, I have 7 years of dedicated service to McGoffin and Johnson counties. And with your support, I would like to take that leadership straight to those responsible for selling drugs and stealing from our home. Please vote Rodney Minnick, Republican candidate for Sheriff of McGoffin County. Thank you.
Let's do this. Can't believe my daughter wants to marry a Hatfield.
And I can't believe my son fell in love with a McCoy.
I got one thing to say. They're going to have the wireless plan with the best service.
And I say they're going to have the wireless plan with the biggest savings.
Daddy!
Hush up, Mary Beth.
Pa, stay out of this, Jonah.
We're done talking.
You got that right.
Better service.
Bigger savings.
Daddy, we've both got Appalachian Wireless. Better service.
Bigger savings.
That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
Well, almost everyone knew going in was that it was going to be a major announcement. Major indeed. The University of Pikeville, Kentucky College of Optometry is now officially going to be a reality. And in fact, in 90 days, they just submitted a feasibility study 90 days ago. And 90 days later, they've already made the announcement. If they didn't start to break ground literally after we were exiting the press conference, they're just only moments away or days away. I think equipment's already being put in place. This is going to be constructed, built, and operating for the first class in 2016 at the University of Pikeville.
So not only is the and only 22nd School of Optometry in the entire United States going to be on the campus of the University of Pikeville system, it's also going to be only one of 2 optometry colleges in the entire nation that will have laser instruction and curriculum. And it all will welcome students in 2016.
Need for optometrists. More than 25% of our counties in the Commonwealth do not have a practicing optometrist. Furthermore, 10% of our counties do not have enough optometrists to meet the current need. Governor, that's unacceptable, and I know it's unacceptable with our governor and our legislators, and it's unacceptable for us. And we're going to do something about it here at the University of Pikeville. Employment of optometrists is expected to grow much faster than average. As a matter of fact, we will add 11,300 new jobs in the next 5 years. Healthcare reform, expanded healthcare programs, and an aging population will increase the need for optometrists. And as we've heard nationally from our governor, I'm sure he will hint upon that today. So what does the creation of the Kentucky College of Optometry mean for our region? We're going to bring 240 new students to this campus, to this community, to this region. Expected tuition of an additional $8.5 million in higher education in Central Appalachia. If you think about the students and their families that were relocated, Judge Rutherford, they will have a positive impact on our economy, on housing, on the retail business, on the P-12 educational sector, and the regional workforce. That's an additional $6 million of economic development and opportunity. Couple that with just the student component, that's $14.5 million that we will bring as new economic diversity to this region.
And all that momentum that Governor Steve Beshear was referring to comes from, well, a whole lot of big announcements that have been coming Eastern Kentucky's way here as of late. We've seen the SOAR initiative. We've seen the announcement from the governor's office of more than $753 million to go toward widening the Mountain Parkway. Broadband internet to go to serve Eastern Kentucky. The Promise Zone designation. The Appalachia Proud initiative announced by State Commissioner of Agriculture James Comer just a few days ago. And several other major inputs of infrastructure and interest into seeing Eastern Kentucky and the Appalachian region finally get what is so well deserved. And today's announcement of the University of Pikeville College of Optometry fits very well with all of that in seeing continued growth and economic impact. Jared Arnott, Magoffin County native and president and CEO of the Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, sees it as a perfect storm, as he says, a perfect way to put a reference on all that we're seeing done in an effort to support Eastern Kentucky.
I think it's a perfect storm. I think a lot of times they say the tragic economy we're facing with the coal industry is really spurring a lot of movement right now in positive directions. It's bringing a lot of leaders together that have never worked together before. And I think you have a lot of people on the same page saying we've got to do something for Eastern Kentucky. And you see a lot of communities, the city of Pikeville, and you see the regional effort with our chamber. You see Governor Beshear getting involved and Hal Rogers getting involved. And you just see things, people casting visions and working toward that greater growth. And they're putting a lot of the bipartisan things aside that blocked a lot of progress in the past. We're putting a lot of our boundaries within the region to the side that blocked a lot of progress in the past. I think that's the future. We've either got to embrace it and all come together and work for something that's for the common good, or we're going to stay where we are and regress back to where we were 50 years ago.
And it's all, as President Hurley said, meeting an unmet need. The 22nd School of Optometry in the United States, right here nestled in the hills of Eastern Kentucky, where obviously, as you can see depicted in the map, we don't have a great deal of optometry opportunities around us. In fact, no colleges of optometry in Kentucky or West Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, or Mississippi. As I said, this will be only one of two in the entire United States which teaches or instructs in laser curriculum, a new 90,000 square foot facility that will go to expand the nursing program. All this becoming a reality by the class of 2016.
We've come to know a great deal of representatives of the University of Pikeville quite closely here at the newsroom over the past several years, and today we kind of laid some groundwork to start keeping you up to date on a very regular basis about a whole lot of happenings on the campus of the University of Pikeville, so you can look forward to that here on Your News Today in a relatively very near future. As you can see, things tend to move quite fast on the University of Pikeville campus. Well, we've got basketball highlights and scores and other information for you. Right now, though, it's the community calendar.
All brought to you on behalf of Magoffin Farm Bureau. The following community calendar announcements begin with a reminder about the Simply Vegetarian presentation at the Magoffin County Extension Office. That's this Friday at noon. And yeah, there will be something to eat, and they promise you're going to enjoy it. And they promise that you'll learn more about becoming a vegetarian, should you so desire. And the youth baseball and softball sign-ups finally begin this Saturday from noon till 2 at Sayersville City Hall. That's right, for all Magoffin County youth. Baseball, softball sign-up starts Saturday noon till 2 in the meeting room at Sayersville City Hall. And they're back at it. Our friends are picking and a grinning over at the Kearney Free Will Baptist Church this Saturday at 7. And this invitation is for you to join them. Tones of Faith will be at the Community Free Will Baptist Church for this Sunday morning services at 11. And a reminder about food distributions at the Bread of Life Outreach Post. That's at the old Oil Springs Elementary School. They distribute food boxes and items first and third Tuesdays, 10 till 3. And the Pillarstone Chapel has special anointed singing and ministering the second and fourth Sundays of the month, and that is at 6 p.m. And that's it for calendar announcements, with the exception of reminding you this is how you can get announcements on the program for free. Drop them in the mail, phone them, fax them, email them at yournewstoday@yahoo. I'm on Facebook at Ritter Mortimer, or you can always drop them off at the newsroom here on East Maple Street in Sayersville. Oh, just came across a birthday wish for tonight. Didn't know I had it. Can't miss it because, well, they're all special. 13's on that list of most special birthdays. And I've got a happy 13th birthday wish to Mason Howes. Love Mama Geneva, your brother Colton, family and friends. Happy 13. He's a teenager, and he's Mason Howes. Happy birthday to you. I've got more news, and it all starts after these messages. Stay tuned.
Have you ever noticed how many insurance commercials and advertisements are on television nowadays? You can't watch your favorite program without seeing a little pig or green lizard trying to sell you insurance and get your money for their premiums. But let me ask you this. If you have been in a serious wreck, do you really think that you are in good hands of the insurance companies when you have lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering from your head to your toes? The answer is no. If you want to truly be in good hands, give me a call. I'm attorney Donald Wayne McFarland. Let me put my 20 years of experience in working to protect the rights of injured people to work for you. 349-9000.
Attention candidates, for whatever you want to get your name and message on, shirts, caps, pins, matches, cozies, and more, call Avavian Deaton. She can tell you about her campaign special. That's 72 caps and 24 t-shirts delivered to your door for a limited time low price of just $3.99. Call Avavian, 349-3835.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Check out our daily specials to get even better after 4 o'clock only at your Sayersville Lee's Famous Recipe, where Thursday is Dipper Day. That's right, get our boneless wing dipper meal with your choice of 2 homemade sides and a biscuit for just $4.99 or only $4.29 after 4 p.m. only at your Sayersville Lee's Famous Recipe. Always the best selection of hand-picked, quality, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all with the service, prices, and financing aimed at making sure you drive off with the deal and vehicle you've been looking for. Premier Motors in Paintsville, 297-4121. If you're thinking it feels like spring is never going to get here, then stop in the seasonal shop in Sayersville, where it's already sprung. They've got all the colors, styles, and all the collections of the season just bursting from home decor and dishware and table settings and so much more. Plus monogrammed and the most colorful of ways to say welcome. All this and so much more at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop, just down from the drugstore and the Radio Shack.
All right, some highlights from last night's Game 1 in the girls' bracket of the 57th District Tournament in the Johnson County Central High School Gymnasium. Sheldon Clark taking on McGoffin County after Sheldon Clark won the playing game over Lawrence County. McGoffin County pretty much handily defeating Sheldon Clark both times in the regular season. Had another go at Sheldon Clark last night, and it once again turned out to be victorious for McGoffin County.
What you're seeing here is some raw, unedited video from last night's game between the McGoffin County Lady Hornets and the ladies of Sheldon Clark. And first clip or two here that I'm going to show you pretty much says it all, as the Lady Hornets came out, took charge of this contest, and never looked back. Literally. They played Sheldon Clark already, of course, in the regular season. Won a win 51-43, another win 52-38. Last night, they even bested on that final score as they continue to drive home the fact that they are the 1st and 15th region basketball for a very good reason. In fact, the Sheldon Clark team only picked up 1 field goal in the first quarter and 3 points for the first 8 minutes of play. By a score of 63-38, the McGoffin County Lady Hornets would advance to 22-4 on the season. They are still undefeated, obviously, in regional and district play, and they will take on, of course, one more opponent in the championship round tomorrow night of 57th District Tournament action.
Game 2 last night was also kind of lopsided. Johnson Central 50, Paintsville 37 to the tune of 13. Johnson Central will advance, and we'll see, of course, McGoffin and Johnson Central, the ladies from both schools, in the championship game tomorrow night. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock. That's the only game tomorrow night. Tonight, it's boys action after McGoffin County defeated Paintsville in the play-in game. McGoffin County taking on top-seeded Johnson Central tonight. Their work will be cut out for them, but they have really shown a lot of momentum here lately. I think it will be an exciting game, win or lose. I'm not going to call it. That is game 1. 8:15 is Lawrence County and Sheldon Clark. The winners of both of those games play the championship round this coming Friday night. And lastly, well, almost leastly, there's not a whole lot in the forecast. Pretty much average. We're still talking about cold air and some snow here and there, but it is still very much winter, everyone. And on the heels of some snowfall this morning, we're going to see continued clear skies this evening. Glad to say, a low of 14, and then more sunshine on your Thursday.
And tomorrow, you're looking at it 33 degrees, a low of 10. You have to factor in the winds tomorrow and tomorrow night. More so tomorrow, you're going to notice them. Even though sunshine will be apparent and we'll have 33 degrees, which was pretty much right on for what we had for today's daytime high. Look for a light southwest wind becoming west, 8 to 13 miles per hour in the morning. And then we'll see gusts above and beyond that, 20 miles per hour, maybe a bit more. Clear skies will continue. And a low of 10 degrees tomorrow night will also be accompanied by wind chill values with winds from the northwest at around 6 to 10 miles per hour, right around 0 degrees. How's that sound? I know, it's awful. I'm trying to put a positive spin on it. 33 and 10, it will feel more like 23 and 0 across the board tomorrow as we see winds sticking around day and night. And into your Friday, we've got a slight chance of some rain and snow in the afternoon. Temperatures around 36 degrees or so. Ditto for Friday night with a chance of precipitation and lows around 29. Your weekend, well, 48 and 54, your highs for Saturday and Sunday. The first half might see a little rain and snow. Sunday looks to be a rainmaker as far as I can tell. Sunday night into your Monday. It's not the prettiest of forecast periods. But for now, that's all I've got time for. It's off to Central. We'll have highlights and more news tomorrow when we see you for the next round of Your News Today. Thanks and have a good night.